Hello everybody, Aragoth here, bringing you a Gwent video. This is the card game based on The Witcher. Been playing for a couple weeks now. Figured once I really felt I had a grasp on the game and I was getting somewhere, I would do a little video to go over it. It's a good card game. I'm steadily looking for something to replace Chronicles. I still very much like Faria, but I don't know. There's something missing there. The reward system needs a drastic rework. Like right now, I won't even get into it. Maybe I'll do a video on that. It's not. Let's talk about Gwent. So I'm currently level 11. You level up through playing against other real people. I found it kind of strange that you don't get levels from doing the challenges. The challenges are extremely important though. This is definitely the first way to start. It goes over mechanics, but it also gives you all your leader cards. So very important that you go through all of these, complete everything, get all the cards you can from it. And that's the other thing. This is not a generous free-to-play card game. You really have to earn your cards. They are not handed to you on a silver platter like they are in Faria. Even Hearthstone gives out cards at a much faster rate than this does. The currency for cards is ore, and then you get these, I think they're just called scraps, is the crafting material for regular cards. Meteorite powder is the crafting source to transmute regular cards into premium versions, so like the animated cards. Open keg is they're not card packs, they're kegs of cards. So we're going to open up a keg. I purposely left one sitting there so we can do this. So you see 5 cards. Tells you the faction on the back side of the card. The little square is the rarity. So I got a rare, which is awesome. Another rare. Ooh, this is a good pack.
Nice.
Okay, so 2 commons and a rare. Now the 5th card, you choose. It's a guaranteed rare or higher. The 5th card. So I got 3 rares out of this pack. That's pretty amazing. This, you can choose which rare you want. You get a choice of 3, which is really nice. Now, so if I wanted to complete my play set of Blood Curdling Roar, I can hit that. But I can also look at, they're all bronze cards. So bronze, there's bronze, silver, and gold cards. We'll get into that in a second. But with bronze cards, you can have a playset of 3. So I'm going to finish off my Blood Curdling Roars. So there's my pack. Pretty simple. So yeah, let's look at the cards a little deeper here. We'll go into the collection. So there are, like I said, gold cards, or bronze cards are your like standard cards. They come in multiple different factions. So monsters, Nilfgaard, Northern Realms. I've never been sure how to pronounce this. Squirtle and Skellig. So you can see this card has a silver border. Silver cards, you can only have 1 of in your deck. Other than that, they function exactly like bronze cards. There's just a limit of only 1. Gold cards are also, you can only have 1, but they also cannot be affected by other cards unless it specifically says it targets gold cards. So like removal cards, so this, this card says damage to units, it will not damage golds. So if one of the cards that you're trying to hit with it is a gold, it just won't happen. So it's something to be aware of for certain damage effects and the way that they work. So it's a cool little. It's a different twist on how cards work together. You know, there's not only the regular rarities of common, rare, epic, and legendary. That's the 4 levels. There's also bronze, silver, and gold. So, like, a gold legendary is incredible. Like, this is one of my favorite cards. I play this in a lot of my decks. So she's only worth 1 strength when played on the board, but she can do up to 15 damage across the board, which is huge. So I'm going to go into a practice game. Actually, first let's go into the deck builder. Let's do that first. So this is the deck that I put this deck together a few days ago, and I've been playing it in ranked. It's been doing quite well. So you choose your leader. Actually, it makes more sense to just start a new deck. So you choose which faction you want to do. So let's do these wonderful, and then you choose the leader that you want. So let's say we want to do, yeah, let's do Francesca. So obviously she has a deploy, so she could be played like any other card, and she has typically it's a very strong function that they have, because the leader can only be played once. And leaders can be played on any row. So you see in the deck building phase, it shows you the 3 rows of play. So this is what the game board looks like when you're in a game. You have melee row, archer row, siege row. You deploy cards to these rows. Now there's also special cards, which think of them as like effects or spells that don't play to anything because they just do their effect and they leave the board. But then we've got this Elven Mercenary. Now it has any row loyal, so I can actually place this card anywhere. Now the Elven War Dancer is melee, so it has to be played to the melee row. So the way that you build the deck and go through that is very important. Obviously, like any card game, you want to use cards that work well with your leader, play well together. Deck building is pretty interesting in this game because it is such a different style of gameplay. And the gameplay is very fun. I'm just going to go into single player. We'll do a practice. We'll play with my boosters deck.
My folk have suffered much.
Hopefully the game sound isn't too loud. I'm going to turn it down.
Crush those vermin!
So, at the start of each round, you mulligan. In round 1, you can choose up to 3 cards to mulligan. I'm not going to go into the details of exactly what this deck does. Just because this isn't talking about strategy or anything like that. But
Crush those vermin!
it does take a little bit, I think, to figure out where, like, especially when you've got a deck like this that
We've not had enough.
where I can put wherever I want. Why didn't he weaken it? Oh, okay.
I've
little
killed
confused.
for less.
So this deck is built around a lot of buffing, which is why it's called boosters, and pulling out cards that
What do you want of me?
cards out of my deck. So I get a lot of power for free.
Fritamaria! I don't want to die.
Oh, I should have put this on that row. That was dumb. Thankfully, it's only practice. I wasn't thinking about the Blue Stripes Commando coming out.
Come to Pappy.
So
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather
messed
while
up
we
my
still
trio.
can.
Some cards
Kayam!
a trio ability on them that causes extra bonus effects. But like I said, we won't get too concerned into
I'll do what I can.
stuff like that. Lower that down.
Everything all right?
And then, so as you add to the board, your power, goes up and forth. Now, part of the strategy is knowing when to end the round. What's a good time to just let it go?
Enough gob flopping.
Locking basically turns off the ability for that card. They can no longer use their ability. So he's passing. So I've won this round. So I'm just gonna pass and save my cards because you draw less and less cards at the start of each round. So I'm gonna draw 2 cards, and I get to mulligan 1. So in this case, I want to mulligan one of my Witchers because they pull each other out. So there's no point in me having it in my hand, but I'm going to be able to play it for free. So it is now my turn. I will once again buff up all cards. He buffs every loyal card, which means every card in my deck
Admiral and
is
shit.
using spies. And actually, I want to get Octist out because he has a timer.
When the white frost
that,
comes, do not eat the yellow snow.
That was mean. Wow. Okay.
Let's go.
Draw a special card from your deck, then spawn a card.
We do what must be done.
Huh.
Let's go.
That
Onward,
was a mean-
Fryhead!
That was a mean play. But these Reaver Hunters are
Don't recognize your old mates.
strong. So I got the trio finished. So
Peace
it
with
says when the
humans
trio is
and
completed,
Bythos.
damage the highest enemy by half its power. Very, very strong. And they buff each other as you play each one. So it's just a crazy amount of power. Playing this.
So what's our
We'll
plan?
basically finish the round. He can't catch up at this point. I've got way too big of a lead.
Slaughter them to
That's
a
the big thing
man!
with this deck is it pulls so much of your
Regroup!
deck out for you for free. Now the deck that the computer's using against me actually does the same thing. You can see they've used a lot of their deck as well. So that was a quick sample game. First two rounds of the 3 rounds wins, of course. Yeah, pretty straightforward. The shop, so you can buy, of course, card kit.
Prices for humans
Standard
of
or-
all walks.
You can
Smart
many.
human choose
based
good.
on how much, and then of course for money. It
Human
is
soups.
definitely a game where if you want to play and actually play well, you're either going to mill all your cards that aren't for the faction that you want to play to be able to build a deck that's competitive, or you're going to spend money. because unless you have a lot of time to grind for ore, it'll take you a long time to build a collection in this game. So that's I'd say one downside, but it's a card game. You have to buy cards. That you can get cards for free at all is awesome, because you know, anybody that's played physical card games, you know that you pay for everything. Rewards. So this is your daily rewards that are available. You can see so far today I've won 10 rounds. So I think I got the ore. And then it just up to a maximum of 66 rounds won in a day. So you can make quite a bit. I wish you could choose what your reward is, but I think you would never choose meteorite powder, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then your level rewards. So I got a free keg for hitting 11. It does take a bit to level up. Like I said, I've been playing for a few weeks, and I play daily. I probably play enough that I get about 16 to 17 rounds won a day on average. So you know, I'm putting like an hour and a half, 2 hours in a day. Now I do well, so that definitely helps. And you can see I'm currently rank 7, and then if I hit rank 8, I'll get a bonus 3 kegs. It's nice that you get rewards for ranking up, and then of course at the end of each season, the rewards that you get. So pretty awesome. It is a fun game. I definitely enjoy it. The strategy is really great. It takes a bit to figure out the game, which I think that's a challenge that's always enjoyable. I don't like card games that are just too easy. There's very little RNG in the game. A lot of the RNG that is in the game you can control by being a smart player. That card that I showed you earlier is a good example of that. Oh, where is she? Right there. Yeah, Philippa. So knowing how much damage she does each bounce, and that she can't hit the same enemy twice, using this card at the right time to make sure you maximize where and how this damage is dealt is important. Like, it does seem like it's, you know, it even says the word random, but a smart player controls where that damage is going to go. So it is not completely RNG. There's very little stuff in the game that is RNG. It's very much decision making. It's very important. Deck synergies are really big. Your deck size is minimum 25 cards. I've seen anywhere from 25 to I think 47 is the highest I've seen. I think you want to stay at 25 to 30 cards personally, because you want to optimize for which cards you're going to get, right? You're always going to start each round, or start the first round with 10 cards. So a good chunk of your deck does come out in that very first hand, and then you pull out naturally an additional 3 cards on top of that. So without card draw, you see half your deck. If you start increasing your deck size, you need a ton of card draw to cycle through and get to the cards that you might need for whatever win condition you're going for. Obviously, smaller cards, deck sizes means you're more likely to get to your win condition. So build your decks to find that optimum win condition timing. And not all decks, like some decks want to actually lose the first round. The deck that I just played is built to bully the first round and get a win quickly. And then my decision in the second round is very important on how to play it, because a lot of people will see their win condition stuff typically into the second round. And I know like resilience is very popular. Resilience allows your cards to survive from one round to the other. So you could start with an extra 15, 20 damage power on the board that survived the last round. So as the opponent, you want to think about how to play that. And there's a lot of different decisions to make there, a lot of different cards you can play, obviously knowing your deck and how to play against it. One thing that I didn't show that is pretty interesting, but it is also my one problem with the game right now, is weather effects. So Biting Frost, that's the premium version of it. So this is a weather effect. You apply it to the entire row, and every turn it does something. So this damages the lowest unit on the row by 2. Turn off premium cards here. Torrential Rain damages the 5 lowest by 1. Now when it says the 5 lowest, lowest means, and it's because it says up to 5 as well, right? Lowest means the lowest power on that row. So if you have a 5, a 6, and a 3, the 3 takes 1 damage. Nothing else takes damage. But if you have 5 3s, they all take 1 point of damage. Okay, it looks for the lowest number, and then all other cards that match that take damage. So that's important to know. Where is Fog? So Fog is similar to Frost, only it damages the highest unit instead of the lowest unit. So, and there's cards that obviously work with Frost, or with weather. There's cards that clear weather. But the biggest issue right now is weather does. It's such an easy thing to fit in a deck, and it's gonna have a positive effect on the board no matter what, because of when it triggers. There's no counterplay to it. Like, you can remove it, but the damage is done. And I don't know. There's a few really good discussions on the board about weather. I would just suggest, if you want to play the game, to go and look at those. The game is still in beta. It is not released. And so far, from what I can see, it's getting really good support from the looks of it. Updates seem to be coming fairly regularly. The team seems involved, so hopefully that's something that continues. Yeah, if you're interested in giving it a try, like I said, it's free. Give it a download, and add Aragoth in game, and throw me a message. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.